Of course I wear long sleeves on the hottest day of the year. Oh my gosh, this is insane. Hello everyone, and this is a super fun topic to talk about today. Back to school. I'm sorry. This is actually super highly requested from you guys, and so I decided I would do like a big well-rounded video talking about a lot of different things that have to do with going back to l'école. French girls, I got you. My French is weak. Easy is like the #1 key for back to school. Ain't nobody got time for like getting up early and curling one's hair and showering. I don't have time in my life for that. Lazy girl. Right here. So today I'm partnering with the All Things Hair channel to share with you guys one easy, no braid technique that you can turn into 2 different hairstyles. Easy and practical makeup tips, especially on the days like when you get a big zit right on your nose and you look like Rudolph. And all you can think of is like, why? Why? And also a lot of organization tips, because you guys know I love to organize, and so I had to share some tips and tricks with you guys on that as well. And these tips and tricks are gonna keep you on track all year long, so let's get into it. We're gonna start with the hairstyles. What I wouldn't give to wake up with like perfect hair in the morning. Even like bedhead that didn't actually look like bedhead would be fabulous. Here are my 3 basic rules when it comes to back to school hair. Number 1, it must be doable when you are not even awake yet and barely know what day it is. Number 2, sleep is always greater than the extra hour you need to shower and do your hair in the morning. Okay, fine, 2 hours, whatever. Number 3, mastering a new technique, especially when it comes to braids, is like the ultimate exciting moment. It's like when you get an A on your test and you're like, yes, I know things. So it would be really great if I could take that one technique that I learned and apply it to like a whole bunch of hairstyles, right? So much more variety and no extra work equals win. So with all that in mind, here's the easiest no braid technique that I've learned. And this technique is called the rope braid. At least I think that's what it's called. There are only 2 things that you need to know about this rope braid. Number 1, twist both sections in the same direction, and number 2, cross them over in the opposite direction that you twisted them. I promise it will make more sense when you actually see it in action. So of course I'm starting these hairstyles with second day hair because who has time to shower in the morning? How my hair becomes greasy overnight is just beyond me. So we're gonna start with my staple, which is a dry shampoo. I'm using the Dove Refresh and Care Invigorating Dry Shampoo and just spraying it into my roots and trying to get as many of the excess oils soaked up as possible. And it'll also give me some really nice texture for the braid to actually hold on to. So first start with the side part. I actually already had one in my hair, so yay, let's work for me. And I just teased a little bit around the face. So just on top where the braid would start, and then a little bit on the side just to kind of get myself going. And then on the side where I was not doing the braid, I actually pulled it back and then pinned it back with sort of just a regular clip, just because my layers are a little bit shorter, and so this just ensures I get all the hair over to the same side and I get it sort of in the shape that I want. So now working with the side that I have the most hair on, I split the hair into 2 sections and twisted both sections towards my face. Then I crossed the front section over the back section, so working in the opposite direction. Now I just gather a small section of hair along the front edge of my hair and adding it to that front section and twisting it again towards my face. And then grabbing some more hair from the back section, adding it to the twist and twisting it towards my face, crossing again over in the opposite direction, and then continuing that all the way down till about the nape of my neck. Now once you get sort of to the bottom of your head, you'll notice that big chunk of hair that you have in the back there. So I just took that and split that into 2, and then you do a normal rope braid. So that involves, again, if I'm twisting towards my face, I'm going to cross them over away from my face. And then at the point of where you cross, you're going to take your fingers in and you're going to pull apart the hair at the twist, and then create 2 new twists, again twisting towards the face, crossing away from the face, and just repeating that all the way down until you can secure it with an elastic. I prefer using a clear elastic just because I think it looks better. And now at this point you want to loosen the braid and create that really messy textured look that's really big and that big voluminous sort of twisted braid thing. So I'm just going to be pulling at each of the twists, going all the way down the braid and along the sides and everything, and just pulling it until I get this shape that I want. As you can tell, because my hair is a bit shorter, you're going to get the really like loose, messy braid. If you have longer hair, obviously the twists will be much more refined. I promise once you get the hang of the rope braids, super easy. And then for the second one, we're going to be doing a messy bun. So again, the same exact technique in the front, so I'm not even going to replicate it. Twist, cross, all the way down to the nape of your neck, and then you're going to take that hair, gather it into an elastic, and then just kind of create a nice loose messy bun. I'm also taking some bobby pins just to kind of secure it in place and so it's not like flopping around all over the place. But that's it, and then you just spray it with hairspray. I'm using the Tresemme Climate Protection Extra Hold just because it's going to fight any sort of humidity and UV rays and all that kind of stuff. It's just going to kind of weatherproof your hair, and voila, you are done. And you can take this rope braid in so many different directions, guys. You can take 2 smaller rope braids and twist them back and then pin it in sort of a half updo. You can do what I did on the All Things Hair channel if you want to go and check it out. I did these 2 sort of mini twisted rope pigtails almost type thing. They're super cute. You could do something like that. Totally up to you. The possibilities are endless. Now moving on to makeup, the goal is to look awake with using the minimum amount of products possible to like not look like you had no sleep at all and you're angry at life for waking you up at 6 o'clock in the morning. To make sure that I don't make this video like 20 minutes long, I've included in the info bar below 2 links to some recent videos that I did. One is an everyday makeup tutorial just to make you look more awake when you don't feel awake. And then my second one is a drugstore beginner's makeup kit. So I talked about different products and how to use them and all that kind of stuff. So if you are interested in those, go and check them out in the info bar below. But I will share a couple of extra tips for you guys since we're already chatting. Tip number 1, make as many of your makeup products 2-in-1s as you possibly can. If you're using a primer, make it a luminizing primer. If you're using foundation, make it a BB cream so it has SPF in it. Use a cheek and lip tint. There's a lot of different options out there. One tip that I really like actually is taking an eyeliner brush, dipping it into your mascara wand and using that as eyeliner. And then you have some makeshift eyeliner, which is pretty cool. Plus then you're not scrambling around in the morning because you only have like a little grouping of key staples. Number 2, what to do about a giant zit on your face. Pimples don't like to hide either. They want their moment to shine. Whatever you do, my biggest tip is do not pop it. It is just gonna make it so much more difficult to cover it up. It's going to get infected if you try and put product on top of it. It's nightmare. So my 2 tricks for covering them, number 1 is working in very light layers of concealer until you're covering it. Don't take just a giant wad of concealer and like slapping it on top of your face. It's just going to emphasize how your zit is looking and feeling right now. Also, if you have one of those really large mountainous ones, they're like the nodular ones that are underneath and they're so painful. What I tend to do is I take a lighter concealer and I apply it to the darker or the lower half of the zit, and then I apply my normal concealer on top. It's really gonna just help disguise how swollen it is. Number 3, bring a couple of essentials with you to keep in your locker in case of emergencies, like Q-tips soaked in eye makeup remover, a brown liner, some powder, blotting papers, just little things like that, because you know there's going to be a morning when you wake up and you get to school and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened to my liner? Because applying liner blindly at the crack of dawn doesn't always work to our advantage. Now on to my favorite topic of them all, organization. And so we're gonna start with number 1, the planner. Now I do pretty much everything digitally, so I have a tablet, so I do everything on that. But I know when I was in school, I like lived for my planner. It was like an essential part of my existence. If you're buying them, there's a couple things I would look for. Number 1 is make sure they have pockets in them so that you can stuff any sort of loose leaf papers in them. They have dividers, an annual calendar as well as a monthly calendar, and of course lots of space for you to write on like a weekly basis, sort of an agenda type thing, and keep track of any homework or assignments or after school activities, stuff like that. Also, if it has a coil ring binding, try and find ones that have something that covers the outside of it, because I used to get super irritated because all the coil things would like get caught on all the stuff in my backpack and I was like, ah! Let me know in the comments below if you guys want me to make like an actual DIY personalized planner and give you some tips and tricks on how to create one for yourself. And I can do a whole video on that because that's something that I love to do personally. Number 2, create a designated area for filing papers. I don't know why, but every school feels like, hey, you know what students need more of? Loose pieces of paper that don't have hole punches in them. And you know what else? We're gonna give it to them right when they're leaving the class so that they have no other choice but to just stuff them into their backpacks and hope that they will find them when they get home. Like honestly, schools, get it together. Find a way that works for you for filing away these different pieces of paper, and so at the end of the week or every couple of days or whatever it is, you can take time to hole punch them and put them away in the appropriate binders. And then lastly, make some time for organization. It's one thing to have all the tools, but if you don't get into a routine of actually utilizing utilizing them, then it's kind of pointless, right? So take 15 minutes a day and just chill in front of Netflix and like sort through all your stuff or write in your agenda or hole punching things. It is just gonna make your whole school year a lot more streamlined. And that's everything for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you, girls. Mwah.